Adversity can either make you or break you. And in the life insurance space, this is the most important thing that you need to know in order for you to consistently be able to hit 30, 40, and $50,000 months is getting through and understanding how hard times make the best version of you. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down some of the strategies that you can go out and use as an agent that will consistently help you get over that hurdle. As always, please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. My name's Trey. I'm the owner of Agent Lead Lab. In the past 3.5 years, we've helped 550 agents issue pay, $40,000 per month. And on this channel, I try to talk about the strategies, tactics, and behaviors that you can go out and implement. So let's hop right in. First of all, before we hop in, just so everybody does have context, the way that this works is I try to treat this more like a podcast style YouTube video than some like super fancy thing, just because it's my opportunity to really talk about things that are happening in my life, but also talk more about strategies and tactics and how they relate to being a life insurance agent and how you can go out and execute on them in real time. So I think it's very misunderstood that as an agent, when you run into like a bad week, a bad few weeks, even a bad month sometimes, that you need to throw everything away. Now, the context of this story is I got some pretty not so great news yesterday in my life in regards to, how my life will have to change a little bit. It's not the end of the world. Things could be 10 times worse. So I'm not really complaining, to be honest with you. But the way that we view the news and the information and the things that happen to us, how we respond to those things determines a lot. A lot of people talk about reacting, right? Reacting is just letting things happen to us, and we're always just reacting to what it is, versus responding is you being able to take the information that you were given and then go out and execute on that new information and get ahead of it. So for example, as an agent, let's just say that you buy a pack of leads and it just doesn't work out, right? You buy 25 and you sell none, right? The good thing is you can go back and retrace over, your career, over your path, and look at times that you've bought in leads before and you've had success. And then you can also understand that it's a part of the process. Now, it's a lot easier said than done when you look at the law of averages, which is basically just taking the lump sum of the number of leads or sales or whatever you had and then even it out, rather than rolling with the, ebb and flow of being an agent or being in sales or running a business. What does that actually mean, Trey? What that looks like is, let's say you buy leads from a company and you go out and write, let's say you buy 50 leads and you write 10 deals. You're like, oh my goodness, it's going to be like this every time. You set an unrealistic expectation that things will always be good and not realizing that you will have bad days. And the problem is, because it's business, you don't relate it to life. And I want, in this video, those two things to come together. So in life, you're going to have everybody knows that everything's not going to be perfect, but everybody doesn't prepare when things aren't perfect, right? We react and we get very upset and we get emotional when things don't go the way we planned. I'm speaking to myself in this instance because I got news, and the immediate thing I did was, oh, woe is me. Why would this happen? I can't believe this, etc. And then I thought in the back of my head, like, yo, you expected when things go well for things to not go well, right? Like, my business is making a lot of money. My relationship with my wife is thriving. My family is healthy. My friends and brothers are continuing to grow. People around me are leveling up. I didn't expect for everything to always be perfect. And as an agent, you cannot expect for everything to always be perfect. You're going to have days where you dial for 12 hours straight and get no sales. Does that mean that life sucks and that you should completely change your process, switch your lead company, do those other things? No. That means you stick to the process. Same thing for me. You're doing a lot of good things. A lot of good things are happening, but life is coming with ebbs and flows. If you cannot accept that, life is always going to throw you in whatever direction that it takes you. You're going to be upset with God. You're going to be upset with your current situation, and you won't be able to look at things from a very objective lens, saying that if I understood and knew prior to that everything wasn't going to be perfect, and I actually accepted that, I knew that there will be days where I will be upset. There will be news that will be given to me that I don't like. There will be people around me that will die and pass away, unfortunately. That is a part of life. There's no way around it. It's inevitable. We already know that's going to happen. But then we live our life in a way that says, oh, it happened, now I'm upset. The same thing applies with sales. You know that you will not sell, if you buy a pack of leads and you sell 10 your first batch, you will not sell 10 every time. And if you don't know, you need to have proper expectations. I have a whole video breaking down on how the numbers work But you should understand that that's not always how it works. You will have a day or a week where things don't go well. You won't make a lot of sales. You have a day where you get hung up on a bunch of social objections. Banking, people leave and hang up. The problem is when we do not expect or understand the reality of the situation. I understand that there's a likelihood that something bad could happen on any given day. So because of that, when something does bad or news I don't want to hear happens, I do not treat my life in a way that says, oh my goodness, I'm bent out of shape. I can already expect that things won't always go as planned, and that's okay. So when you got the high moments, you accept them and you roll with them. When you got the low moments, you also accept them and roll with them. There's this thing called getting neutrality, which basically means I never get too high, I never get too low. I just stay even keel. Right? Good things happen, I celebrate them. I say I'm happy, but I don't get overly ecstatically happy because then you just ride the emotional roller coaster of being on both. Rather than not, you just say even keel. You can have moments of weakness, but you will not let that transpire into multiple days. I'm speaking to myself because this is the news that I got. Now, as an agent, I think it's super important for you to recognize this because now when you understand that, you apply that to sales. I think in life, we do a very, I know me personally, I haven't done the best job of navigating that. But it's very difficult in life because they're actually people we care about. There's certain circumstances and situations that we run into that make things a little bit more difficult. It alters our life in a lot of different ways, and it's not one-off. So life is a lot harder than business. Business is just numbers. And honestly, you should know this ahead of time. Nobody's passing away. Nobody's losing anything. It's just like you're losing money or you're gaining money. It's kind of point blank period. You're just maintaining, right? So rather than being so bent up and treating it like life, where we have these very rash emotional responses, what you'd rather do is focus specifically on how can I and my business understand that there will be days, weeks, months, packs, whatever you want to call it, marketing, doesn't matter, where things won't go according to plan. I will spend $1,000 and get nothing. Does that mean I give up? No. Does that mean I stop trying? No. Does that mean I say that I throw my process out the window? No. Now, if that prolongs over a long period of time, then yes, the same way if something happens in your life, right? Does that mean all else fails? No, you need to pivot, you need to adjust, and then you need to continue to move accordingly. Now, if you don't pivot and you don't adjust, and you just continue to let the thing compound, that's not good either. So you have to have awareness. And it's a very, you have to tread the line, right? But you have to tread the line methodically. So the quicker that you can do that, and you can understand that every circumstance and situation will not go according to plan, the better off you will be, right? As an agent, the moment that I realized that my first time ever, right? I tell this story for those that haven't heard it, I'll tell it again. Basically, my first time ever as an agent, that I got mailers, I got put on what was called a mail list. Right? We had it's BPL, so buy per lead, or whatever it was called. And the way that it was set up is you put your credit card on file. You had counties and areas. So I was in Nashville. I used to have to go to East St. Louis and St. Louis, Missouri. That was my area. I put my credit card on file. They went out and dropped mail. The moment mail came back, they hit my card immediately. If my card didn't get hit, they roll it to the next card. So to your upline, right? So it was like, yo, get on your stuff. I literally would wake up some days and get billed for $700, $600. And it'd be through the day too. You'd wake up, be like $400, $20, $90, or not $20, $90, $4,000, whatever it was. So I ended up racking up about $8,000 in leads. I drive out to East St. Louis, Illinois. I'm like, yo, I got to go crazy, right? This is over like whatever. I think I booked 18, 19 appointments. And I'm like, yo, I gotta close. I literally went 0 for 19. I had a bunch of people not show up. I didn't sell anybody. I remember I came home and me and my wife were joking about this the other day. I literally like damn near broke down. I was like, I just dropped 8 bands. I just drove 5.5 hours. I didn't sell anything. And at that point in time, I had 2 options. I could give up. I could quit. I could say, this is it for me, right? Or I could keep pushing. Now, here was the thing. This was not my first experience, y'all. I had already been selling at that point about 15 to 20K, but I was trying to get to like 40, 50K. And they were telling me this is the best way to do it, right? That's what everybody was doing. At that moment, I had a choice to make. So I can go back to what I was used to doing and say, woe is me, and I tried and it didn't work, or I could figure it out. So I started watching videos. I started studying. I started learning where was I messing up. I couldn't close people because I didn't know how to close people. I kept running into the same objection. Well, I don't want to. I was trying to close people on mortgage protection for term. Doesn't work like that, buddy. Got to figure it out, right? So then I started associating my skill set with immediate ROI. I said, this is not going to happen to me again, right? I'm not going to let this circumstance happen to me again. I will learn from what happened. I took my loss on the chin and I said, it is what it is. Chalk it up to the game. Now, on the other front, I had to figure out how to pivot and adjust. That's going to happen to any agent that's watching this, anybody that's watching this video. You will have a moment where you spend a lot of money and it doesn't go well. And it will probably happen again. That's a part of business, but that's a part of life, right? Last month, we took a dip. We went from doing 500,000 to about we finished at like 490. I think we had 540 in April. Then we went 490 the month. Some people are like, oh, that's not crazy. For me, I'm a competitor. I want to get it every month. Every month's not going to look like that. That's okay though. But I know that though. But I still let emotionally get caught up in that moment. The real growth as an agent and as a person in business and life comes when you understand that things aren't always going to go as according to plan and you're already prepared. So when things happen, you're able to bounce back much quicker. Okay, that really wasn't how it was. I woke up this morning. I said, all right, I'm gonna get busy. There's no time for me to mope about the fact the situation is not the way I want it to be. This is the way that God dealt it, and I'm built for it if he dealt it to me. Point blank, period. When you start getting in that mindset, then everything changes because you realize that whatever situation you're put in, you're gonna get out of it. You also realize whatever situation you were put in, you knew there would be some situation. You just don't always know what it is. I hate to say it, but that's a part of life. And the quicker that we can understand that and we can accept that this is the way that God has it, the faster things can improve and go on the up and up. Because at the end of the day, it's still going to happen. The question is, what are you going to do about it? You are going to have a lead company that you work with where it's going well for 6, 9, 12, even multiple years. And then you have a time where things don't go that well. What do? Do you point the finger? Do you get upset? Do you get mad? Do you blame them? Do you ask them to make adjustments? And if they can, then things go well? Or do you hop off ship? Do you say, oh, they blah, blah, blah? Do you give yourself a reason to opt out? Same thing in life. How do we respond to the things that happen in our life? That is the overarching theme for how you can become successful. Because as you continue to grow, you will run into more problems, and how you respond to those problems will dictate what happens next. And as you continue to grow, you have more problems, and it's just an everlasting cycle of growth with problem, And it's okay, right? Just the way life has its own set of problems, issues, and circumstances. Every year, something happens to people. I don't mean people die. I'm saying you know that something's going to happen. That's a part of life. You think that you're going to go through life and not have problems? You are sadly mistaken, and you will live your life on an emotional roller coaster. I will choose not to do that. So as an agent, you should prepare your business in the same way. Some CRM software won't work. There will be problems that arise. What are you going to do about the problems that arise? How are you going to respond to those problems? If you do not have a game plan, or at least a mental understanding, you will always be at the mercy of your emotions. And that is no way to operate a business. So I hope this video helped. Hope it was super straightforward. As always, my name is Trem, the owner of Lead Lab. You can go to leadlabcrm.com if you want to buy leads, or you can go to agentleadlab.com. I'm not here to press you or let you know, but at the end of the day, I am here to let you know that people are doing well off the leads. If you want to check them out, cool. If not, that's no worries too. As always, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.